Hello and welcome to the Daily Brown Bag. Today we wanted to take a look at the recent dialogue between Danny Sullivan and Joshua Benton on NiemanLab.com. I'm Chad Hill and joined by Adam Stetzer.
Yeah, good morning, Chad. Welcome to the Brown Bag. These video responses are really interesting for us because we're trying to jump into the dialogue that's happening pretty much in real time. Today, as Chad, as you said, we're covering this blog post at NiemanLab.org on the Nieman Journalism Lab, and there's a very interesting dialogue between Joshua Benton and Danny Sullivan. The title of the blog post is 4 Headlines That Will Restore Your Flagging Faith in Journalism. And I think the crux of the post is that social and traffic from social media is overtaking search, and that sparked a pretty good debate and a dialogue that we want to try to add something to, maybe take a contrarian position or two, and see if we can continue the discussion. So I think what was interesting here to me, Chad, is these juxtaposing positions of, we hear Twitter and other social media avenues growing so rapidly. It's been in the news for a couple years, and as a percentage of where you get your engagement, it is growing. Danny Sullivan makes the counterpoint, though, back to Joshua, that even though as a percentage of overall engagement or traffic, social media is growing, you're overlooking the total size of the pie. And if you isolate out just your traffic from traditional search avenues, that's probably also growing in an absolute way year over year. So very important not to confuse percentage of overall traffic versus absolute numbers. And I think he's saying, I don't know that I really buy that social media is killing search. We hear this all the time, SEO is dead, search is dead. Danny's saying, no, they're actually both still growing, and that the overall pie is growing, and it sparked this interesting debate. I'm interested in your thoughts on this, Chad.
It is interesting, and I think there's a lot of times people get focused on sort of the shiny new object, and we forget about the things that are the meat and potatoes of actually driving a lot of traffic on the web. And so search certainly is that, and that's what Danny's talking about. But I do agree with Joshua in a couple places. One, and we do a lot of SEO, Adam. So I certainly would never say SEO is dead, but I do agree with him that if you're a publication, and he makes the point of comparing Upworthy to the New York Times and just the different traffic generated on those two sites. If you're a publication and you're trying to figure out how do we stay relevant, you don't want to have all your eggs in one basket. And so a lot of people, as they pointed out in the 2000s, spent a lot of time doing search engine optimization, but now they're still trying to kind of grow their traffic and don't want to be beholden to Google. And a great example was the demand media, which was just too focused on Google only, didn't really have a traffic strategy beyond Google, and they've fallen on hard times. And so, the publications out there trying to stay relevant in this day and age look at Google and say they have kind of a love-hate relationship. They need to make sure that they explore other ways to drive traffic. And so that's, on one hand, I totally agree with Joshua on that. On the other hand, I really agree with what Danny Sullivan was talking about, with just the intent behind people who are searching for something. They're going to engage more on your website. The people who catch a flashy headline are going to click on that, and then they're going to click on the next 10. So I think that really there are some very important differences between the kinds of traffic and just in general a smart online marketing strategy that is diversified.
Right, so you're taking the diversification angle there, Chad. I think I flip this around a little bit and come at it from the other side and talk about the integrated marketing strategy, which encompasses both SEO and social. And I know I've been talking about this on Search Engine Watch in my column for, it's got to be 2 years now, where these distinctions, and I guess this might be my contrarian point of view, and I'm sure in a few comments I'll get flamed for this, Chad, but I don't really find the distinction is all that helpful. In 2014, everybody is talking about how content marketing is the heart and soul of SEO. It's about earning high-quality mentions and backlinks and citations. And how can you say that that's the direction without having social being a part of your strategy? So really, I guess my position would be social is part of SEO, and that's probably where I'll get a lot of people from the purist social media side flaming me in the comments, but I'd be interested in having that debate and watching it play out. Why is social a part of SEO? Because as you're seeking real audience, and there's a lot of echoes here on what you said, Chad, from the diversification standpoint, but again, if you're seeking real audience, you have to have social to push it out to. That's how you build your list. It's sort of the new email, and I guess we made this argument in a webinar last week. Email is part of SEO as well, because this is how you notify people who are very interested in your topic that you have an awesome new asset on your website, whether that's a blog post, an infographic, a video, whatever else you've come up with. And that's how you get the exposure, which will ultimately lead to the backlinks, the citations, and the mentions you're looking for. So to me, I think the distinction is fun in the industry to argue a little bit about, but I know on the small business side where they're looking at it saying, guys, just tell me what I need to do, the answer is you need to get audience, you need to have social, you need to have SEO, you need to have it all, and I'm not sure the distinction really matters all that much. It's really more about penetration and building real audience. Well, those are our views. We wanted to further the conversation. We sure love to hear back from Danny or Joshua on this point. We hope you'll share this video, and it's been a lot of fun joining in your blog discussion. Join us back tomorrow for another Brown Bag.